Okay, welcome everybody. It's Christina Merkley, and this is the Process Popup. And we took a bit of a sabbatical. I wish it was a sabbatical. I took a little bit of a break over the holidays, so we've had however many weeks it's been without one, so it's nice to come together again. I'm going to continue with these through the remainder of 2021. We'll see what happens with 2022, but I think it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving with our world right now. And with this kind of transformation and transition and chaos in some places, it's an opportunity to, especially if you are getting triggered by whatever, all the various things that can trigger one in the now, it's a great opportunity to do our inner work. So that's what the Process Pop-Up was about. We start with 10 minutes of meditation, just kind of get ourselves present and to develop a co-field here and become here, and then we'll just see what's present, and it's spontaneous emergent processing. So reports are normally first, so most of you are here today. All of you, I think, have been here repeatedly. So if there's anything you want to share about your trajectory with your inner work, that's great for report content. And then we move into whatever is most present now, what's up. Every time we do this is different. People who come is a different configuration. What's up for you in the now is different in this moment. So I always really enjoy these, and I'm taught by them myself, just working spontaneously, emergently like this. So with that said, we'll just slip into stillness for 10 minutes here. I have a timer on my end that I'll set so I don't go beyond. And then we'll come back and see what's present in the group. Thanks. There may be other people here when you open your eyes. I'll get them into the container. I kind of keep my eyes occasionally open to see if anybody else is waiting in the waiting room. Okay. I'll mute myself. If it could put that on me, I'll just dial in on the other computer. We may not be able to have the visuals if that's the case. So just taking your time coming back. And that's always, thank you, an opportunity to do that with each other using technology from all our various geographies. And now we just find what's present. So we start if there's any reports. So anything that you want to share with what's up with you and anything we might have heard about previously. And then what's present now, what's up now, what's here in the container, and we'll find our way about how to address it. We've got a nice intimate group here, so we'll probably, if everybody does have something, we'll be able to have the time to cover it.
This is Lisa. I have got to give a little report about Rapunzel's window.
Great. Yeah, cool.
A moment I know I've been waiting for. So for those who don't know, I have a little motorized hoist that sits in my window on the second story of a 1800s building. And I have a basket, and in that basket goes down some nutrient dense, really delicious treats. And the password is Rapunzel. So when people go by, they say Rapunzel, and that calls me and my dog to the window. And so my dog had a birthday. I hadn't started this yet. It was just an idea, a crazy little idea. And my dog had a birthday, and of course it's not really about the dog's birthday. It's about the fact that this dog came into my life at a time when I really, really needed it and worked hard to get there for it. So just celebrating that we did it, and in it with a community of support. So about 30 people came to celebrate Tuli's birthday from the window. And it was all over a course of hours. And it was kind of like a introvert's dream party, because here I am upstairs managing this menu of things that had been made the days before and interacting with everybody below. But I was still able to spark and inspire from up there, but I didn't have to be amongst the socialization and all the chat. So it was just dreamy. And a couple friends were with me all day long outside. They're kind of monitoring and just watching. And some of the feedback was just kind of like, you have something happening here that is delighting people, whether they interacted or just caught a sight of it. And then one person went over to the East Bay, which is 2 hours away from here, that night for an art exhibit on the water, a barge coming by. And he saw somebody who had been at the Rapunzel's window, who we had kind of interacted with. And she said, was that amazing or what? Like, not only the mango hemp balls, but the woman in the window, And so it was just like this feedback from the universe, kind of like saying, like, you got something magical
awesome.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was really delightful to be able to get it going. So the next step is just trying to figure out how to bring it to life where it's actually sustains us, and we can do it. So yeah, that's my report on Rapunzel.
Lovely report. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so fun to know you're out in the world doing that. Right on.
Yeah. I think a big part of it too is going to be the scribing comes into it. All the little ingredient cards are illustrated and pieces of that. And it actually has to like somehow come into the chair massage work, even though I can't do it right now yet. I'm working really hard on my hands to get them back. Because I got some funding to keep my massage going. And so it's a funding to kind of encourage you to broaden and widen what you're doing because of COVID. So I'm like, okay, I will include Rapunzel in that. So yeah. So
nice. That's awesome to hear, Lisa. Thanks for
thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. the ongoing trajectory as it unfolds. Yay. And happy birthday, Truly. Another manifestation from hearing this in this container and others. So that's awesome. Yeah. Reports, or then what's here now?
There's a report in the chat.
Oh, Kristen is happy to be here, loving the visual coach training in progress. Yes, and excited to explore process work at work this year. It's probably going to be very needed in a lot of work, right? So you in the education system for sure. Yay. Yeah. And I know your mic's not working, so I can see you. We're not able to speak at this time. So yeah, cool. Thanks for the report. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing great. Kristen did intensive over the summer because being in the school year, it was a little tricky with clients. So just having that time zeroed in and got the bulk of the client work done for the visual coach certification. Yeah, it's good to have her chat whenever it was. Early in the week, last week, the days blend. Yeah, but we accomplished a lot, went over a lot of maps. Yeah. Good to have you here.
So I can check in. It's my birthday today. I'm turning 47.
Happy birthday. Thank you for coming here on your birthday. Wow,
yeah,
an honor.
I felt called to continue my training even on my birthday. So, because that's in alignment with who I'm becoming. So I'm glad to be here. It's great to hear about Rapunzel. That's really sweet. How people are finding ways to connect with others, even during these times of social distancing. There's a few things present for me. My art practice, which is growing and showing me showing me some powerful symbols of transformation. I'd love to share an image that I recently made that is part of what I'm working with. My visual coaching process, where I'm going through the process of training and then practicing with clients and learning the tools, practicing on myself. I'm just at the inner alignment part. So I'm exploring the subpersonalities, and that's profound, exciting work to get in touch with all these different parts of the self. And healing and growing in relationship, that's another thing that's present for me now. And it's also the fall equinox, so it's time of transformation and change and moving into the fall. And yeah, that's me.
Now, did you say you wanted to share an image?
Yeah, I'll grab it if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Love it.
Actually, I have two images, so I'm just going to plug in my document camera to show it.
I think I can spotlight you if I'm right.
So I've been doing a daily drawing practice, and almost every day, sometimes not, but usually I will do a small drawing and finish it within one sitting, which has been a really powerful thing to be doing. And I just allow what kind of energy or symbol to arise in the moment. So I've been working with the inner masculine, and this was a drawing I did a couple of days ago. And it's very much just listening deeply into the soul body and allowing the shapes and colors and symbols to come forward. And so it was interesting. I showed this to my boyfriend, and he said, oh, the masculine is, 6 feet under, like in a tomb or in the earth. And I thought that was interesting. I was sort of seeing it as a doorway, but I suppose you could also see it as being kind of in the unconscious. And then this one on the right, that was the next day. And this process of integrating the masculine and the feminine being this sort of etheric form. And so this is my process right now. There's this staff, which is the emperor's staff. It appeared in this drawing. And then the same day, I actually was studying some of the tarot symbolism, and the emperor holds a staff with a sphere on the top. So this could represent a lot of different things. So to see the masculine rise and to sort of see him holding the feminine with this sort of stable base seems really positive. And so that's the process that I'm in right now. And also this kind of reflective, this sort of mirroring and how the masculine and the feminine interact. This has definitely been a dance that I've been in my outer world as well. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful. It's wonderful to have it with the document camera, right? The real world tangibility of seeing your creations and then your understanding of them at this point in time, right? As things move from the unconscious into the conscious and reflect back to us. And sometimes that articulation of sharing it with others too helps bring it more into consciousness too. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I also went through this interesting thing last week with, I did a 3-day artist planning series. So it was like 2 hours a day doing a plan, like with the intention of it was a bit like process work, working through worksheets, and it wasn't visioning, it was more planning in terms of what do you want to accomplish with your art career, with your art practice or whatever. And right in the middle of that, I got this incredible cold sore, right all on the front of my nose. And so all week I've just had this like hideous, just gross thing on my face. And there's something, there seems to be something related emotionally around this sort of masculine rising and me coming and me sort of grappling with this unconscious material and
your art practice
and my art practice
to the public, right? Because if it's planning, that's ultimately where it's going to lead. Yeah. I would think for most, not always, but yeah.
Yes, I mean, ideally it is about becoming more visible and presenting and showing and selling, and then also doing workshops.
We could do a polarity square on visible and invisible.
That would be great. Okay.
Visible and invisible. Just thinking of other ways to play with that dynamic, and what other polarities might be private and public. There's also conscious and unconscious and all throughout what you're sharing. Anybody else hear or see anything else in there? Feel free to unmute or put it in the chat. That's common or useful for all of us. Okay, let's, and Chris, you can participate in this too with the chat if we do a polarity square. So I think that's where we're going. Any objections? Going once, going twice? We'll slide right into a polarity square and then we'll see where that takes us. Since I said it, I'm feeling it again about other ways we could do it. So just obviously we could go into who inside is uncomfortable, right? So whenever this popped into being, it sounds like you were taking that particular program, right? And that's when it popped into being. So it could be at that time, you kind of go back and say, whoa, who inside is uncomfortable? You could do an orphan rescue around it. That's another approach. And I'm feeling something else. What else is in here? You didn't really say, maybe you did, but I don't remember you saying it directly. Did you say marketing?
No, but marketing is definitely a part of the planning process. Yeah.
Yeah, so that whole thing, you're in the visual coach program too, so you got the biz essentials there, but that's also stuff where stuff can come up, the marketing, the money, the being more public, being more visible, time, money or more money to one's creations, right? Also art, right? Art, and when you monetize art, right? Oh, it's rich territory. So orphan rescue is definitely a way to go in there. I'm still, as I'm articulating this out loud, I'm still feeling the pull to polarity. You have your alpha mind set up. So alpha mind is natural. You could take the cold sore to the alpha mind to say, what's up with this, right? And see what comes back. And you could also, you could literally invite the cold sore into the alpha mind and talk to it, right? Personification with it, communicate with it.
Well, it seems to be related to the child-father axis, and definitely money and power and visibility, and even deeper, older stuff. Like when we worked together on Tuesday on the solstice after I got off the call, there was a lot of movement, and it was very painful, but there was an aspect in the shadow that was really angry and upset, and partially because of the father aspect seems to be part of the masculine that's sort of in the dark. And so
Okay, so that lends itself really nicely to self-inquiry, is the anger. So I'm going to suggest, we'll see if others have things they want to bring forward. And Kristen can't because of the speaking. Lisa, was there anything in particular that you had, just so I know agenda-wise, how many people? No? Okay. So I think order-wise, let's do a polarity square because that's something we can all participate in. And it's interesting too, Lisa, just what's going on with you. There's some of that separation, which you're liking, right? In what you brought forward with Rapunzel. So it might, that visible, invisible thing might be interesting too for you. I know it'll be interesting for me, Kristen, I'm going to guess, because it's kind of a classic, interesting thing to work with. And then depending time and energy, if it feels like the right thing, we might dissipate some things with the polarity square, but I think self-inquiry with the anger around the shadow stuff with dad. Okay. It always emerges, so this is our plan. Okay. Now I'm going to screen share. And then just bring up this polarity square. My collection of goodies here. Let's bring this one in. Everybody here has been present during polarity square, but I'm going to just rattle off a bit of a overview on it because this is being recorded and others will be watching potentially afterwards and may do parallel processing. So good for them to know what the heck we're doing. So this comes from the work of Leslie Temple Thurston. I recommend her book, The Marriage of Spirit, and she gives people permission to be able to use this in her book. So I, of course, am a visual person, so I turned it into a template. It's a 3Z, so it's a 3-step process. The first thing we're going to do, we already have our defined polarity. Where's my stylus? Here we go. So I'm just going to plunk them in. We've got visible. So whenever you have something that you're working polarity wise, right, there's 2 poles, and we take those poles and we divide them into 2. There's a desire for the thing. So in this case, there's a desire for visibility. And there's also going to be a fear of visibility. Okay? And those two are pretty conscious in how you led into this topic. There's now the flip of that is going to be invisibility. So we take that one, we split it. So invisibility, desire for, and fear of invisibility. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And it's great to do it as a group because you can poke into different things. If you're just doing it yourself or you're doing it with a coach or something, you're limited to what the two of you can come up with. But when you're in a larger group, it's great because different people can poke into, and so you balance this more. First step, we'll do that. Second step is up above. Once you do that, it starts to balance things out and you poke into things you probably never poked into before on these subject matters. And so consciousness wise, it's kind of stretching and growing and balancing in new ways. So we'll check to see what states that has provoked or started to provoke by doing that work. And not all these words up at the top will apply to this particular polarity, but some of them will. So I'll rattle them off and we'll find which ones this polarity square helped provoke more in our consciousness and in consciousness at large. Because as we do this individual work, it's doing it for the one, doing it for the whole. And then she has a release statement at the end, which basically just kind of turns it over to larger intelligence and giving thanks. So those are the three steps. And again, Leslie Temple Thurston, awesome source. So with that, Jill, looking at these four, this is something to do with this too. Are you aware out of the four, all of these might be pretty conscious and maybe you go to all of them evenly, but do you notice any that are kind of less where you tend to go? Like you're like, oh, that's interesting. You never really thought about that.
The desire for invisibility.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, so it's different with every polarity we do, but so this one for you, you already know is a little more unconscious because you just said so. I don't really go there. I hadn't really thought about that, right? So already it starts to do something when you look at that quadrant. And good, okay. Now, we don't have to start there. We can start wherever, but I'm going to give you, since you brought the polarity forward, I'll give you first dibs. Which one of these do you want to explore first?
The desire for visibility.
Okay, great. And so here's how we prompt it from all of us. So for yourself, because you're doing this you brought it forward, so of course it's going to have personal application for you. It's going to have personal application for all of us. So when we go to do a polarity square, we answer it from our own perspective. Then you can also go to the group perspective, right? Like, hey, how other people you know, or other human beings that you're aware of, or groups you're part of, how they would answer it. And then you can go to the full-on collective, like, hey, a human being in general, right? How would a human being in general, how might they have a desire for visibility? So what within me is a desire for visibility, within human beings that I know, or within humanity at large, why might there be a desire for visibility? And you can kick us off, Jill, and then we'll, let me bring up so I can see the chat, because I know Kristen will be putting stuff in the chat too. I want to make sure I can see that.
Okay. So why would there be a desire for visibility?
Yeah.
To sell my artwork.
Yeah, right. That's probably what kicked it all off, right? Right. Sell my artwork. Good. What else?
To be seen as a coach. To be valued and cherished by an audience or a group of people.
Cherished, and it's audience, group of people. What's that get you if you're valued or cherished?
They'll want to buy my work, or they'll want to work with me.
And what's that get you?
cash flow, stability, connection.
Good. Lisa, you got anything? I'll look in the chat. Kristen's saying recognition and appreciation. So that's what she can access. Thank you. Let me get that in. Also go a little deeper on that, Kristen. So if you have recognition, if you have appreciation, what does that give you? Right? Just keep going deeper. Good. LB, you want to get in on it?
Yeah, something about meaning for me, just like being seen.
Mm-hmm. Is meaning. So if you're seen, you're what? You're understood, or you're sharing meaning?
There's if I'm seen and if I'm really seen, then I don't know how to say it. If I'm really seen, there's this meeting of that value of making meaning out of this life.
Okay, good. So for you, that desire for visibility is connected to making meaning. So there's some sort of connection to that, to like, that's why it's worthwhile or something to be visible, right? And to be seen, because there's that making meaning, and I'm going to assume sharing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. What
And
else
when
we
I say
got?
be seen, I don't just mean visibly seen, I mean really seen.
Yeah, I underlined, and I'll do it really. So go into that. So what does that mean? Really? We'll get into, poke around that. What's the really seen? What's really seen get you?
Well, it helps just confirm that we're not separate.
Okay, so what's the opposite of separate?
One, unity.
Okay, yep, that's where we are. So one, unity. Thank you. And I see Kristen's gone into recognition and appreciation and poked it some more, and now it's accomplishment. And then if you poke that some more, you've got competence. And feeling like a contribution. And this might be getting into one that you're getting to, LB, is the bigger than myself. This one in unity, bigger than myself. Okay, good stuff. Jill, you got anything?
The two other things that are coming up are honor and power.
I'm going to spell it with a U because we're both Canadian. Just a little, slip that in occasionally. Yeah. LB, anything else as we all milk this? Let me see if there's anything I got. Desire for visibility. It would be making meaning for me. It would be like message, getting a message out. And visibility helps me, well, do this kind of stuff, right? Helps me help and helps me. So I'll put helps others and myself. Visibility is kind of, for me as an introvert, it's kind of a necessary evil. I think some of us are feeling that. But I know, it's connection. So amazing people, right? Look what we're doing here, right? So visibility allows me to connect with people from around the world, and who have similar interests and niches, and the weird stuff that I know how to do. I'm saying that funnily, I don't really think it's weird. But it's a niche, right? So it allows me to connect with people around the world who are into that same particular niche. So that would be what's underneath that for me. Think you can mine yourself. Remember, you can mine other people you know. What would it be for them? And then if you think about the collective at large, what would visibility be? Why would there be a desire for visibility in the human species? We're also playing it non-shadow wise, right? So there is a shadow side on this. So desire for visibility, it goes with kind of the power thing that Jill was bringing. That can go into the shadow of like dominance, right? So
I want to go there. I've got a guy outside my window who yells about 10 hours a day, screaming like rap and performing. And his need for visibility, just makes me absolutely crazy. And I don't know what to call that, but
well, is it like, see, whether it's true in his case or not, so it can be there's somewhere it's seeking attention, right? That visibility thing is like wanting to get something not so great fed.
Mhm.
Okay, so attention seeking attention. I'm going to put ego on that kind of shadow side of it. Ego, dominance, look at me, showing off. With some of that, marketing stuff that one goes ick to, right? So.
Mhm.
I'm just going to throw out the word needy.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Good. And I see Kristen's got a bunch here. Let me see. Inspiration to do more work. So inspiration and more work, right? It just kind of gets the momentum and stuff going, and that creativity, the mix of things. If you're out there and being visible and interacting, there's more of that generation happening. An awareness of shared humanity I put in there already. Okay, good. Well, there may be more, but we're populating, harvesting this one nicely. So we're starting to poke into this quadrant well. Let me know if you've got any at the top of the head. That would be painful if I moved on to another quadrant right now, and I'll get them on. Otherwise, I'm going to move. Where shall we go next? Go ahead.
The one other thing I would add that came up was freedom to have a voice and to be heard. So to be seen and to be heard seem to be connected.
Freedom of voice. Yeah, heard too, not just seen. So then that expression, right, to actually feel empowered enough or to speak, to express yourself, to get it out, whatever medium, right? Visibility can be in a lot of us do, all of us here do art and drawing and painting, kind of that kind of scene, but you can be seen through, like what Lisa was saying too, the spoken word and volume. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Where do you want to go next?
I'm drawn to the fear of invisibility.
Okay, there we will go. Now, what can you find there for yourself, for others, for the world at large?
The first thing that comes to mind is diminishment.
And poke around that a bit more. What else is in there?
Not being seen or valued or heard, being made small.
Yep.
Being made invisible, not mattering.
Small, not matter. And if
it was fear of invisibility. not fear of visibility.
Oh, thank you. Let me just corral this and move it. Under here, right? Is that where I'm going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fear of invisibility. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, diminished, small, not mattering. So with all those things, poke at it a bit more. What does it mean if you get diminished and if you're small and you're not mattering? What has it meant in the past? Some of this be history. This will poke into some of that dad stuff.
You're small, not mattering. Not expressing, not
Yeah.
being seen, not
Yep.
having a soul, not being self-expressed as a being, as a soul, as a person.
Mm-hmm. And what happens if that happens?
Gonna die inside.
Yeah, yeah. Soul death.
Yeah, like a ghost.
Mm. What happens if you're a ghost?
No form. No purpose. No surface. No meaning. No growth.
Luke, huh? Yeah. You can feel the heaviness of it. Just it goes down, down, down. Yeah. Anybody else? Kristen, Lisa, for you, fear of invisibility. What's behind that? Uh-oh.
My needs not being met.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing that came up for me was just perishing.
Yeah, yeah. Back to the dead. Yeah. That's a very descriptive word, perishing. You who puts goodies in baskets. Yeah. Perishables.
No, interesting.
Yes. Take it away. Yeah. Here's the flip. So over the visibility is the significance. Here's insignificant. Insignificant, stagnant, ignored.
Forgotten.
Yep.
Disconnected.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put left behind. Has been. Fear of invisibility. Fear of invisibility.
Kristen saying loss of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Lethargy.
I'm going to go dehumanization. Othering. There's a fear placed into invisibility, and that's all taken away, then it can lead to some really awful places.
I have one for the the dancing, singing guy, and that's just alone in insanity.
Scary place. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that's actually a positive, right? Him being with together in insanity as opposed to alone in insanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That opens the heart. Huh. Apathy I see in there from Kristen, and we've got last opportunity. I think we have lethargy. Did I already have lethargy? No. Good one. Let me get that up.
In terms of the population of my elders, it can be like life or death.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Die inside. Life or death. Absolutely. Yeah. So if they're invisible and they're left alone in their homes and vulnerable, it can be life or death. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, lots of tender stuff in here. What else? Fear of invisibility for ourselves, for others, for humanity at large.
I think it can magnify the worst part of ourselves, like rather than our best self, our worst self.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like, for me, I go to like mob mentality stuff. Okay, so brings out worst. So if you're not seen, if you're all invisible and off in the dark there, then you're not really held accountable either, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mob mentality, lack of accountability.
Julie, can you leave her alone, please? Come here. Hey, come here.
I also want to add a few more words. Discard and abandonment and
Deep words. Okay,
yeah.
very good. We got vulnerable, worthless. Yeah. Yeah, we're really going in. Okay, deep bow to a fear of invisibility. You are welcome here. That's tough stuff. Where shall we go next, Jill?
Desire for invisibility.
Okay, good. Let's go feel the flip of this. Not all is lost. Tell us about the desire for invisibility. What's that get you?
Freedom to be myself, no judgment, no rules, no accountability.
Did I miss any important ones? Freedom to be self, no rules or accountability.
Yeah, that's an interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah.
What else is there?
No pressure. I'm going to put myself. No pressure.
No judgment, no shame, no fear.
I'm going to put no accomplishment. So kind of get off the rat race.
Yeah.
And the whole, you're only as good as what you produce or something, right? As opposed to just inherent unconditional value.
Mhm.
Desire for invisibility. Oh, experimentation that you can just, I'm thinking art-wise, but I'm sure maybe in other things, you can just experiment, right? It doesn't have to lead to anything. You can just poke around in your studio and just, or in your individual practice and just try things. And it doesn't have to have big public exposure. It's safe. I'm also going to put the word cocoon. For me, that just kind of, it's really nice to just come in. I have different times in my schedule I can do this, where I just get to pull inside and hibernate, and I'll put sabbatical. Is that kind of pulling away and going inside. And then out of that comes a lot of creativity and germination and stuff.
Mhm.
Easier,
Right.
yeah. Kristen's got stuff like that too. So criticism, so that we'll put that off of this stuff here. It's a different word, get into a different nuance. Freedom from praise, yeah, exactly. Not having to have that in the mix. Easier to welcome mistakes, sit with them, play with them. Yeah, what I was getting with this experimentation thing. Yeah. I'll put quotes on mistakes. Yeah. Interesting. Yes, there's a lot of good stuff in here in invisibility.
I'll add, I find it so easy to be generous and expressive. And also there's a huge capacity to impact. And I think of like a tree that's maybe invisible to us most of its lifetime. And yet look what's going on. It's oxygen exchange
Underneath,
rate.
yeah.
It's mycelium interaction, all that. So that capacity to impact without all the extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like directly into the vein.
Beautiful. Yeah. Just piggybacking off what you're saying too is it's so much happening, even if it is invisible, right? Like it's or so much remarkable stuff happening in your example with the tree, right? We just all take it for granted, so therefore it's invisible. And with non-dual work, sometimes the visibility factor can be a problem, right? If you're helping somebody actualize something in a bigger way, moving from small to big, which is the movement, the big can be intimidating, because then with big, most of us associate visibility. So you can actually find the feeling place of big with invisibility, right? So you can be big in your field, in your subtle energy, right? In your spirit and all that kind of stuff, but then it's not seen on the outside. So it takes away that threat, right? So that, back to the safety stuff.
It's really good. Can you just star that?
You can, yeah. Okay, let's go to the other one. There's probably more here, but let's go to the remaining one. Fear of visibility. Here we do all this work to be visible, but there might be parts of ourselves and parts of the humanity that wants to put the kibosh on that for various reasons. So why might there be a fear of visibility?
Well, the first thing that's coming to me is a fear of being attacked, or punished, or killed, or persecuted.
Whew, yeah, I went for the big ones. Yeah. visibility can be very dangerous in some circumstances. Yes.
People wanting too much from you, people needing your power, or people wanting to take things away from you.
Yeah, take power and things. The word that comes up, envy, jealousy. And then I'm going to go again into mob mentality, where those things, that shadow stuff underneath, can really get out of control. Better to be under the radar. What else? Wide visibility is threatening, or there's some sort of ink around it. No, thank you.
Being picked at, being criticized, judged, put down, jumped all over.
Excommunicated.
Yes. I see Kristen's got a list, so I'm going to get them too. Too much attention. And, oh, good. Yeah, putting on the pedestal. Yeah. So too much attention. And then the positive projection, which can get a little nerve-wracking too, because if you put on a pedestal, you know you can be yanked off it at any time. Oh, and then you
Putting
have
on a front, like putting on a mask, pretending.
Okay. Yep, mask. Yeah, persona kind of stuff. That persona. Oh, I'm also going to put like brand, right? Everything like, oh, you know, your individual personal brand. Ugh. Yeah. And then too many emails from people who want to use your work or make new work. Ugh, emails.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to piggyback off of that. People stealing stuff. And copying. And you know, creating ripped off versions of things. Advice about everyone about what you should be doing with your visibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the way that the online business world, e-commerce world is growing, it's all about getting up on that pedestal, being the expert, being seen, having the followers, having the likes, and then channeling somebody into a program or you know, whatever. And like, as a coach, eventually I'm going to have to figure that out and find some way of doing that.
So it would be probably something about like inauthentic or not genuine or materialistic or something, right? If it was my dream, it would be those words, but I'll put mine on, but you use those to figure out what it is for you. So inauthentic.
And that also points to, for me, to misunderstood.
Ah, yes.
Or labeled. Mislabeled.
Good. Misunderstood. Mislabeled. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to put cancel culture.
Oh yeah.
Because that, you know, with that, those flip kind of judgments or labeling and stuff, and then off with your head comes next, right?
Would you
In
call
the-
that cancel culture?
Cancel culture. Yeah.
It's like a
That's-
scapegoat, being scapegoated for something.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, the one person represents some social ill or problem, and everyone gets to project all of that onto that one person, and kind of destroys their public image.
And it can move very fast in the world of digital.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody else, anything else you're holding on to? Fear of visibility. Why might ourselves, people we know, humanity at large, why might there be a fear of visibility? Oh, have to deal with it. I'm just thinking as he brings stuff up from the unconscious into the conscious, right? And you're like, oh shit, now I can really see it. Now I have to deal with it. There's no excuses, right? I can't brush it under the carpet.
I don't know if we said this, but something about safety, just, having myself been, not even targeted, but experienced a somewhat violent crime. And I think of like my elders, just like
Very
not even
violent.
wanting to go out, just not wanting to be possibly visible.
Yeah, so
at the
scared.
time. Yeah.
Scared. We got Target earlier. Yeah.
Just
I
for
think we had
physical
Target.
well-being.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Impact on physical well-being. Yeah.
And there's also some element of shame in that, just like even being visible, like people knowing that, just the shame around it,
Mm-hmm.
being so vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, flawed.
Flawed. Yeah. Okay. And on that one, there's just lots of come here, right? To the orphans that it gets us in touch with. Come here, and we're here. We got you. We're here. We know. Okay, well done. Wow, this had a lot. Thank you, Jill, for bringing it into satsang here. Now we go to stage 2. It still might continue to percolate in us, right? Because the thing with polarity squares, if you're working a big one like this, you can have it up for days, sometimes even weeks, right? And you just are kind of pondering it and new nuances come to you and you continue to build it. So this could still be in play, but we've done a good go of it here with the 4 of us. So now we go up to the transcendent states. I'm going to rattle them off quick and you just pop up and let me know the work that you just did there, if it provokes any of these states within you. Doesn't mean you're fully in it, but maybe it's made some movement on them. How about acceptance, attunement, balance? I'm gonna put balance myself. Bliss, probably not. Clarity. Anybody got clarity? No. It's giving me a little bit more clarity. Compassion.
Mhm.
Yep. I see Lisa and Joy's yes. Okay, good. Detachment.
Maybe. I mean,
Okay.
to see it all written down there creates more detachment from the hooks of it.
Yeah. Okay. Devotion, nah, doesn't really fit here. Dharma doesn't fit. Discernment.
Mhm.
Yep. See
Yeah.
some nods happening there. Discernment. Equality.
Definitely.
Equanimity. Yes, Kristen's nodding. Eternality. It's probably going to go on for eternal with human beings, but yeah. Faith. Flow. Forgiveness. Generosity. Was that a yes, Lise? Yeah. Okay. Generosity makes sense in your situation you've been bringing up. that person. Grace.
Yeah.
Yep. Gratitude.
Hmm.
Harmlessness. Harmony. Humility. I feel a little something in there with humility. Most polarities make me feel more humble because they're just so deep. Impeccability.
Yeah.
Makes us be more impeccable. Yeah. Okay. Joy. Loyalty. Neutrality. Yes. Kristen's nodding. Patience. Yep. Purity. Quiescence. Don't ask me what it is. I can never remember. I get asked all the time. Can't remember. It doesn't stick with me. Samadhi. No. Selflessness. Unfortunately, no. No samadhi on this one. Selflessness. Surrender.
Yeah.
Tolerance. Yes, that's big, isn't it? Yeah, this one's big for tolerance. Trust. Yep. Truth.
Yeah.
A little more truth in there. Unconditional love.
Yes.
Unity.
Yes.
And wisdom.
Yes.
Gives us more wisdom. Okay, I'll say the release statement. I'm not sure how big. I can make it a little bigger here so you guys can see it better.
I just have a question about those words up there. What's the purpose of saying those out loud and identifying those words?
Oh,
again?
well, hopefully when you did your answers, you were intuitively doing it from this place. You're looking at the polarity. The work that you just did with the polarity is you're poking into this probably in ways you've never poked into these state, qualities and these things that happen in life in this particular way. So when you do that, you kind of look at how are you feeling, or how's it lined up in your body or in your head or whatever when you start, and then you do this work. So you're looking at kind of a before and after. So has it made any movement on those upper states, right?
Oh, okay.
All the inner work is ideally getting us to balance and let go of triggers and process our reactions and our activations and come to understand ourselves and others better. And ideally, it's helping us move towards and grow towards some of those states that are up at the top of the template. Yeah.
Okay. So there's states of being that the polarity integration helps or assists?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And if you're really lucky, totally gets you to and from the rest of your life. Yeah. But that's rare. It takes some work. But as you do this kind of stuff, as you do with any of this stuff we do here in satsang, right? It takes the edges off and it unifies us. Yeah. So the release statement, I'll say it and then we'll do it again if you care to say it together. But just so I like to say it so you know what you're saying instead of just here, repeat these words after me. So you see if it fits for you or not. If it doesn't, totally okay. Release statement. Oh, eternity, please take all these states of mind which are unbalanced in this pattern and balance and clear them. Do this so that I may see more clearly and find my way home more easily. I give thanks knowing it will be done. So if you care to say it with me, it'll be a cacophony of stuff. That's fine. So let's just go for it. Oh, eternity.
Oh, eternity.
Please take all these states of mind which are unbalanced in this pattern and balance and clear them.
So
do this so that I may see more clearly
and
find my way home more
Find my
easily.
way home more easily.
I give
I give
thanks.
thanks knowing it will
Knowing
be
it'll
done.
be done.
Knowing it will be done.
Nice. Okay, let me just give this a quick save. I'm gonna bring the view down. Move you over here, come here. Okay, let me just take a look. Now's a good time to stretch your body, move. These are going for 2 hours, so that means that we have half an hour left. Jill, I will put it to you. We'll see now that you feel after doing this. The next thing would be to do self-inquiry, particularly around the anger you're feeling around the masculine stuff connected to your childhood stuff with your dad.
Okay.
So if you're up for that, I'd like to do a little stretch. And if anybody else wants to stay, Kristen and Lisa, you're welcome to. It can often be very helpful, as you know, parallel processing. But if you can't, now's a good time to exit. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll all take a little break. Just get my tablet set up too. Standing up. Don't jump off the desk, honestly. Yeah. How are you? Pick a color.
Pick a color, any color?
Pick a color, any color.
Yellow.
Pretty.
Oh, I see a banana.
I like to do this lately with, it's kind of like carving soapstone or something. Comes out of here. Okay, we're all gonna stick with it. So just see if it's still present. The language I've been feeling here is anger. Is that what we start with?
The actual feeling was hate.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Not excellent about hate, but excellent that you have it identified and everything is welcome. So it doesn't matter what it is, it's excellent. Yeah. Okay, so let me give a little blurb on self-inquiry. So just like what we did with the polarity work, tends to go better if we can meet stuff as opposed to suppress it, reject it, dissociate from it, blah, 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 right? So, and it's not, we're going right into hate. So that's one that most people tend not to be able to meet. So it can feel like a bit of a, what do you mean? That's the last thing I want to do is go meet something, right? That's gnarly like this, just to reassure you that when we do, there's treasure, right? It's worth it. You can pass at any time. If you don't want to say anything about the narrative of things, you don't have to. Like, in fact, it's actually preferable. If we don't get into a bunch of story and narrative, you go to the gist of, what the feeling or sensation, memories, flashes, right? There's ways to just say it succinctly without really getting into a bunch of narrative. For those who are watching along, sometimes you can really relate to somebody's self-inquiry because it's what's totally up for you. And it may be how it's laid in you. Sometimes not, right? Maybe that particular thing is, you don't have that in your life, or it's not up for you at this point in time, or the person goes so far with what makes sense to you and then they go to a different place that's unique to them, right? So it's okay. Any of these things happen when we do in self-inquiry, but it's always, like any of this work we do here, it's always a honor and a blessing to be able to tag along for the ride. Also, just being here, you're holding a field, right? You're helping me hold a container here as I work with Joy. So, and same thing even for people who are watching the recording, right? Even if time has passed, there's still a field here. There's still stuff happening. It's kind of the gift that keeps giving, right? When we have these modern day things like recordings where people can be privy to self-inquiry. It can continue for months and years, decades even, to help and assist and expand in the field. So that means that you're doing work not just for yourself, but for others. And again, like I said earlier, for everybody, right? All the people around the world who do their inner work are contributing, right? It's one of the things that we actually can do in some circumstances. Sometimes the only thing we can do is our inner work as an offering to help. So with that preamble, let's go in, and I'm going to be throwing out different words, and all you do, it'll happen naturally anyway. You don't have to do it, just happens. But as I'm saying these words, it's going to impact you and your field, and stuff's going to happen, and you're just going to be the reporter and let me know what's happening, right? And it tends to move from one thing to the next thing. Sometimes we really have to stay with things. And I'll just be throwing out different suggestions, and you're guiding me. Your consciousness is guiding me, and consciousness at large is guiding your consciousness, right? So we're all along for the ride here. So hate, to the best of your ability, you're just going to say the words, hello, hate. You are welcome here. Don't
Hello,
like
hate.
you.
You're welcome here.
I don't like you, so there's probably some aversion. There's probably some no thank you, and there might even be some yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is shadow material, so it's not something that I really want to look at or do, but
yeah. So just agree with that. And now what's happened right off the bat, we've got mind and intellect often shows up, especially those of us in the Western world, because we're overly developed that way. And it's also a wonderful coping mechanism. So mind just analyzed this as shadow material and is absolutely right. So you just want to say, hello, mind.
Hello, mind.
Hello,
Thanks
mind
for your
intellect.
input.
There you are, and you're so smart. Yeah. And also thank it for its love, because the mind is always in service of us, even if sometimes it drives us cuckoo. Yeah.
Thank you for your love and being in service, mind.
Yeah. And this is probably a coping mechanism, right? Because you just said it doesn't like to go into the shadow material. And that's probably been very wise in other earlier times in your life. And so just that's the love thing, right? Because it's keeping you safe. It's a way of keeping you safe. No, don't go into that shadow material, because I want to keep you safe. So just lots of hugs and kisses to mind. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your love. Thank you for caring about me and looking after me and keeping me safe and helping me avoid this. You're right. We don't like to go into this. You don't like to go into it, mind. Yeah. Lots of care. And also you might just be, because it's probably protecting a younger you, right? So this would be a little orphan work. And so you just want to, don't you worry, we're going to look after that orphan. Thank you, mind.
I have a very strong sensation in the back of my head.
So hello, back of the head. And that strong sensation in the back of the head, just welcoming it. And does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Or what does it feel? Those are broad statements, but
It feels, I'm just going to say the words that are coming to
yeah, that's
me.
exactly what you do. Yeah.
Okay. Thud, crash, kill, death, hate.
So just welcome all of that. Hello, I think you said thud to start it off.
Thud, yeah,
Yeah,
crash.
Kill, death, hate, you are all welcome here. And then there's going to be, because this is big stuff, so there's going to be personal and there's going to be collective, just like we did in the polarity square. Some of that is personal to you and some of that is bigger to the human experience, and all this big stuff, that's also given us a sign that it's not just personal. There's personal in here, but there's also, whoa, this is stuff that the human species, understandably, their nervous systems, you know, go into fight, flight, all that kind of stuff, right? And just reassuring, of course, we don't like it. No, thank you. Human beings at large, we're designed to avoid this stuff. You're right, you're right.
The next set of words is pain, fear, sorrow, and then suffering.
And then same thing, just thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. Hello, pain. Hello, fear. Hello, sorrow. Hello, suffering. You're welcome here. Yes, there's natural aversion, right? We tend to want to avoid you. And I do personally, and the collective at large does. And you're here. You're right, you're right. And just, you really want to be present, especially for the parts that are afraid of this stuff, understandably. Just tell them we're here, right? The whole Sangha here is here right now. They're not alone. You're here, we're here.
It feels like this could be another lifetime because I'm hearing like I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah. Okay. So, ooh, just got goosebumps. So just go with that. And again, we're here, we're here.
And then you hate me.
Aw. And just reassure the mind. The mind doesn't, it's okay, mind. We don't need to know if this is stuff from earlier in life, and that kind of very young child stuff can often feel like past life, and or it could be, right? There's miraculous things to consciousness. It's everything. So just welcoming the potentiality of it being another lifetime, and then the I'm bad and you hate me. Just we're here, we're here. It's okay, we're here. You're safe.
So I'm just aware of this pressure and the sensation in the back of my head, and there's a lot of suffering. There's someone's killed. Someone's killed. It's like my soul path is dead. I've been dismembered and dead, not fully formed.
So just be really present with it and just say, you're right, you're right, you're right. We don't like it. Of course you're not going to like it. That's a huge authentic no.
I just want to scream and cry out, stop hurting me. Stop.
Yeah, yeah. all natural. Now try extending. We'll go with this. Try a little, that was then, this is now. And try extending an arm or a hand across time and say, come here. This is a soul retrieval, right? This is a past life orphan rescue, if you will. Just extend a hand out, say, come here, come here. I'm over in this timeline, come here. Just see how it responds. When I say it, consciousness, or they, whatever's happening. Of course, we don't like it. Come here. Let's get you out of there. Come here, you're safe.
She's a powerful woman.
Mm-hmm. Hello, powerful woman. You're welcome here. Now you have an alpha mind, so present. She's a powerful woman. She's going to get this, even if it's unusual for her, wherever she is. But there's an opportunity to provide a rescue here. And there's multiple places that she can be brought. You want to ask her, she's up for a rescue. And then maybe explain to her what this alpha mind is as at least a first pit stop to bring her.
Okay. So I'm extending my hand. I'm inviting her to come.
Come with me. Come with
Come with me to
no
come
need
home.
to stay there. Come home. Yep, that's a good way to put it.
You're allowed to come home now. What do you need to come home now?
Would you like to come with me?
Would you like to come with me?
You don't have to stay there. You're right. It's awful. You don't have to stay there. Let me get you out of there.
You don't have to stay there. You're right. It's awful. Killed you. It's a bad time. It's a really bad time. You don't have to be there anymore. And I'm here now. And I'm inviting my alpha mind presence to be here now, which is a really, really big, huge presence, mountain-sized. Feminine presence. There's courage, determination, and focus, structure, and you're welcome here.
See how she responds.
She's doesn't feel safe. It's not safe enough.
Okay, good. Fair enough. And ask her what would help with the safety.
What would help with the safety? Is there anything that would help with the safety? She's saying, I'm invisible now, and it's better.
Just tell her you can remain invisible. That's a very good strategy. Yeah.
Okay.
No need for her to be visible. She can just come to the sanctuary of yours. She can take as long as she needs. She can rest, recover. She can eventually, if she cares to, come into her strength and power. No pressure, no need to be visible. And there's wonderful guides and allies. It's secure. Nothing can get to her. She does not have to perform. She does not have to be begged. She does not have to be seen, right? She can keep her cloak of invisibility.
Okay. You can be invisible. Did you hear all that? Okay, yeah, she likes you.
That's high praise. I like her too. My past life orphans bow to her, yours, and her. Yeah.
It's okay to remain invisible. That's totally okay.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be invisible.
Yeah. It's going to take some time. It's totally natural that you would do that. And that's more than welcomed. And invisibility is welcomed here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Alpha Mind will open up because she's an aspect of you. So she's allowed in there. So just bring her on in. And it may just start responding automatically to her, and or you can just go like, what do you need? Let me create for you what you need. You can create a special recovery place for her, right?
Yes, she needs a home inside the Alpha Mind,
Yes, please.
a sanctuary where
Mhm.
she can have a voice and she can grow up into her power again.
Yes, absolutely. That can be arranged.
Yeah.
What does she want? Does she want a bedroom? Does she want a lounging room? There's nature she can go to. What's her pleasure?
Well, she's saying that she wants a spiritual body that matches her power, her energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And okay,
Present
Thank
it to
you.
Alpha Mind and see what happens.
we're gonna need to work on that to build it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she can help build it.
Work to build the spiritual body. Good idea. It's a process. Good idea. It's going to take some time here. Good idea.
Maybe she knows the architecture.
Mm-hmm. Just see how she's responding. She's very knowledgeable, so. And how your Alpha Mind is responding to her requests and her knowledge.
Okay, the Alpha Mind is really happy that she's wanting a home. It's a home inside the heart of the Alpha Mind.
Mm.
It's she's gonna help build that architectural structure that's gonna create that spiritual body that she's gonna feel safe inside, and she has ownership of.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, please. Yes, please. We like it. By all means.
She's saying she needs a calm place to go inside every day and start constructing this field, this house, this spiritual body.
Yes, please. Calm place every day. Yes, please.
And a growing sense of power that's safe and that's allowed, and that's not corrupted by outside forms.
Yes, please. It's growing sense of power. It's allowed. It's safe. It's uncorrupted. Good idea.
There's a really strong sensation in my head, just pulling very strongly.
Just welcome that. Is it pleasurable or aversion?
It feels like there's something just piercing my forehead.
Okay, now it's forehead and back. Okay, that might have been her wound or injury, and so there's going to be some healing in the etheric body around the injury point. Just see if I'm right. I might not be. It could be a lot of different things. So just see. The piercing.
I'm just sensing her
Mhm.
spiritual power. It's just, it's flowing somehow through my head.
Yes, and the head doesn't need to understand. So just kiss the mind, because the mind's trying to figure it all out, and it will over time. But just say it's okay, head. Let's just go with the flowing spiritual power, shall we? Yes, please.
Okay. Yes to the spiritual power flowing. Yes to creating a safe container or chamber for that spiritual power to live safely inside my alpha mind, and opening my heart to receive her and welcome her.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, please. Yes, please. We like
That's
it.
better. So now it feels more like it's above my head. And it's like she wants to enter into the top of my head.
That's where spiritual power is. So it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, through the crown. Coming on down. So yes, please. Yes, please. The embodying of the spiritual power. Yes, please. Through that crown chakra. Yes, please. You're welcome here.
Wow. It's very big.
Can be big, it can be invisible, it can take its time in the alpha mind figuring out how to come into this time and place, how to ground, how to be safe. And just invite the field also, as she's coming into the body, remind her too about you have a subtle energy field, just like she did and does.
Yes.
Right? Because that kind of power, you don't want to just crammed in the body.
No.
Right? Because it can be a little intense for the body. So just reminding, oh yeah, you can take up more space, stretch out into that subtle energy body, stretch out as big as you like, not just in my body, physical body.
Yes. Well, she's happy about that. There's something interfering with this, and it seems to be like the inner child that's very scared.
Okay. Yep. Thank you for alerting me. So now we go to that orphan back there. There's a connection here, and you want to just do a come here, come here. Hi, honey. There you are. You're safe. It's okay. She probably doesn't understand this. It's a little weird for her. She's got her own from her childhood. She's got her own stuff around power. And this is going to feel threatening and weird. And hey, I'm not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
So just, hey, sweetie, we're here. Just just be with her. Be with her. It's okay. I'm here.
I'm here now. You're safe. It's all right. I'm an adult person now. I'm here for you. You're safe with me. You're allowed to have power and energy.
Just see, she may also need a rescue. So since we got rescues happening here in the alpha mind, just say, sweetie, do you want to come with us? It's okay. You don't have to stay where you are.
Do you want to come with me? Or are you okay where you are? Oh no, she's out there. She's lost.
Yeah. So
But you would like to come home? Yes, yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, come on in. We're not going to forget you. You're welcome here too.
Really like it if you'd come home, come into the heart of the alpha mind. There's a place for you there. And there's a really strong Father Spirit there who's willing to work with you, hold you. He's not gonna hurt you. He's gonna protect you. And he's gentle and loving. He's gonna show you how to have that strength.
She responded.
She's afraid of the father. She's not.
Just tell her you're right.
Okay, you're right.
You're right. And there's the father where she was at, and there's a different kind of masculine energy in your alpha mind, right? Because you have your male and female guides.
Yes.
And maybe you can just show her the male and female guide. Maybe they might actually have something to say to her, or
Oh, yes.
do or be. Just see how he wants to handle it. And so she can see that different kind of masculine energy.
Okay, is there a masculine energy that in the alpha mind that is willing to show up for her and show her a new masculine? Yeah, there's a very strong presence there in my heart.
Yes.
And let him speak to her.
Might be doing, it might be being, it might be speaking. He'll know. So just
Okay.
follow, just see what he does. He's wise. How does he handle a little orphan who's afraid of him, or afraid of the father, and is identifying him and other masculine as the father?
He's saying, I cherish you, little sweetheart. You're so sensitive. I'm here now, and I'm willing to teach you and show you what you need to grow. You have your own masculine inside.
She responded.
She's a little confused, but there seems to be a line of connection between them. I cherish you, I cherish you, I cherish you, and I need you here. Valuable, you're worthy, cared for. I see you, and you matter. I see you, I love you. And I want you to see me as lovable too, as caring. He wants her to see him as her father aspect, and he's willing to do the repair if she's willing to do it.
Substitute or take it further than the physical father was able to.
She seems brighter. There seems to be more
It's a good sign.
of an okay.
That's movement in the right direction. So just thank that. Good, good. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you.
And they'll continue to unfold and build a relationship, but just see if she's okay to come into the alpha mind. This become her new home.
Okay.
If she is, then this can have all the time and process it needs as she gets in there and it unfolds.
Just ask that the alpha mind embrace her and create a space for her. And
make sure she's okay to come.
There's this sort of bird woman who's wanting to create a soft little nest for her.
Ooh, how sweet is that? Yes, please, soft little nest. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, bird woman. Nest maker. Oh, she really likes this place. And she's would like to come to it. Yes. Okay. It's just inviting her to this nest, to the presence of this mother type energy, this bird woman. She's cherished. She's welcome. She's the little girl. There's still this there's a fear of death around.
Just tell her that's understandable.
Okay.
You're right, because you just brought in the past life one who had some stuff happen to her. So
Right.
just tell her, you're right, that's life and death is part of it all. It's okay. Nothing to be afraid of. We'll help you. We'll help you come to understand this in age-appropriate ways.
Okay. Hey, little one, did you hear all that? It's okay to be, it's okay to have that fear of death. There was death and there was also life. We can come back to life. We can come back to life.
It's safe.
Oh my God, she's just been so tormented there wherever she's been. It's okay.
It's
I know
okay.
it's scary. It's been a lot of loss, fear.
Just tell her, you're right. It was scary. We didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it at all. That was not okay what happened.
We're here. Come here. Just let her be welcomed and received and cuddled, and she needs a place too, and she's young, so she doesn't, probably not a room all by herself or something, right? So what's right for her to set up in Alpha Mind?
We're here. There's a really safe nest. And there's a guide. Bird woman. Do you recognize her? Do you recognize any of this?
Doesn't matter if she recognizes that, just as long as she's safe, if she feels okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, she may recognize it. What do I know? But just check.
What else do you need to feel safe? She needs some sort of food source. What kind of food do you need? Sweets, candies.
Yeah, that's allowed. Yes, please. Yes, you please. You can have lots of sweeties, you little sweet.
You need sweets and candies. That's totally okay. I'll feed you sweets and candies all day today. It's my birthday.
Yes, please.
Sweets and candies.
Yes.
Whew.
Spoil her up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there seems to be she seems to have come closer.
Is she in your Alpha Mind?
Yeah.
Good.
She is.
Good. So she can continue in there, and the Alpha Mind will continue to respond to her and help her, and just make sure she has a place there that she's comfortable. She's got the nest and the bird woman. and the healthy masculine is around, and there's the past life one who's off on her own doing her healing, but she's a powerful woman, so she might see her in there. And
Okay.
then your other aspects who are in there, right? It's all in service of her. It's all safe. And they'll alert you if you're needed. Your now consciousness is doing a lot in 2021. So just tell her, I'll be back and forth. I get reports. You can connect with me at any time.
We're gonna have a great day today. Eat lots of candy and sweets. Got a soft little nest there. I mean, it can be big if you want it to be. Just imagining like a really safe, bright space for her with just a gentle, soft light, and the bird woman, the bird mother, and the masculine, he's sort of a little bit outside. So maybe an animal you'd like, maybe a dog or a cat or some other animal. Something small and soft that you can hold. She likes that. Yeah. Something to drink, something to eat. Yeah, it's a lot for her. I think we need to stop.
Yeah, that's big. You just got her there, and it's going to continue to unfold. So just agree with that. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
We got you safe here. We're done.
we're here. You're safe here. We're done.
We're done. We got to where you needed to be. So to both those orphans that got rescued, the past life one and the little child, it's like, you're here, you're welcome. This will continue on beyond. You'll come back and you'll check on them. They're in good hands.
Yes, you're in good hands. I'm here. Welcome. So happy that you're here. Thank
Just
you.
see how they are. Are they fine for you to come back to your time? You'll check back in on them later.
Yeah, I just really want to acknowledge this big spirit, this big spiritual aspect that's arrived, and just honor her and give thanks for her return and for her sacred presence and her beautiful formless being, her power, her energy. I'm going to ask my alpha mind to create a space for her as well, the sanctuary in my heart for her, so she can come in and build that inner architecture so she can be safe, being powerful again. So I'm inviting her into there. She's coming in. And it seems like there's more integration, but I could probably do that as I just rest.
Yeah, exactly. Just the it'll just be it'll proceed on its own
Okay.
path, right? Its own timing. It's like, yes, it's in process. Yes, it'll unfold. Yes, it'll take some time. Oh, that's okay. Your intelligence, consciousness knows how to do it.
Yeah.
And now that you've got the conditions with alpha mind and everything, right, it can continue along at its natural pace.
Yes.
All is good.
And whatever beliefs that my mind is carrying about the invisible world and all these things, past lives, inner children, any of these things.
Just kiss the mind, because the mind, it's like, it's okay, mind. This might be a bit much for you. That's all right. And for other minds.
Yeah, whatever disbelief that might be there, accept you. Just
It's
a thing
totally
like-
okay. Nothing wrong with that because they're both and, right? They both exist at the same time.
Yeah.
And the mind may come to understand this more, right? As it continues along, you're in a lot of different trainings and unfoldments and stuff. So you'll come to understand this more. It won't be so strange, but it's okay for the mind to be like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like there is some shifting in the mind.
Mhm. Good. You could feel
to-
that.
Yeah, to really accept and integrate this.
Let's
larger-
try with the mind. Just invite the mind. It's liberation for the mind. Ask it to stretch out beyond its cranium. It's been a
Okay.
little tight and it's been a little restricted and it's forgotten that it too is consciousness. So just go, "Psst, mind, if you like, you can get in on this too. How about you get some rescue for you? Let's rescue you, mind."
Mind, you can expand and grow. You can have a crown.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, goosebumps.
You can have a glorious crown. A spiritual purpose.
Mm.
And a beautiful magnetic mind. And an open heart. You can be a beautiful soul and mind too. It's okay.
Mhm. Good. How's the mind responding?
Mine likes the crown part.
Yeah.
The crown is like a tactile kind of a it's a real world thing. I can see it.
Tangible. Yeah.
But it also seems to let the mind grow up and expand out.
Okay, good. Yes, please, to growing up and expanding out. Good idea.
Yeah, and any worth issues around this little girl or this ancient spiritual woman, just allow those to dissolve into the ethers, to just
Mhm.
dissolve into the light of consciousness and bless the mind, bless the fear, bless the rage, bless all of it, bless all of it.
Mhm. Yes, please. Yes, please. Good idea. To be unfolding. Just big kisses all around. Lots of love, right? Kisses to the mind and the intellect, kisses to the alpha mind, kisses to the two orphans, kisses to all those allies and resources within. Returning
Yes.
home to the nest and the bird woman, just deep bows of appreciation.
Yeah, and the crown, as I see the drawing, it's like there are these sort of four figures there, and these are the ancestral realms. These are the higher selves. This is liberation.
So yes, please to ancestral. Yes, please to the higher selves. Good idea. You too. It's all one. It's all connected.
Yeah, we're allowed to have a soul. We're allowed to have a spirit, and we're allowed
Mhm.
to be seen as soulful, spiritual person, woman.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do alpha mind. So big, deep bow to the alpha mind. And taking a big breath, and as you exhale out, you're going to go down those 21 stairs or steps to the nature place. Do a deep bow at the nature place because it was foundational for this as well. So just appreciations. There might be something that you receive quickly from nature place. If so, go ahead and receive it. Might be tangible, intangible. lots of bows and appreciations to nature place. And then you're going to find that rainbow bridge, however you have it set up. On the other side of it is your physical body in front of the computer here on the webinar, etc. But finding your way up that rainbow bridge and that subtle energy you standing at the top of the physical body. When you're ready, you're going to inhabit into the physical body, working your way, starting with the crown, down the crown, sliding down that spinal cord, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fully inhabiting all those chakras, fully inhabiting your limbs, coming back into the physical body in 2021, having come back from a remarkable journey, a very full process group. Happy, happy, happy birthday. When you're ready, opening your eyes, giving a little stretch. And I didn't catch the chat. Anytime I miss sharing the screen, because sometimes I forget to turn it back on, I'll turn things off, and then please unmute and let me know. Yeah, I read the chat quite a long way in to realize I wasn't screen sharing. So, but that was okay. Your eyes were closed anyway. So, and talking about this, as you know, being visual coaching training, right? When we do things with the eyes closed, this can be like a pow when you open up your eyes. So maybe I'll just take you quickly through it so you can orient. So we started with hate, and hopefully you can see my little stylus moving here. So you start with hate and you welcome that, and it moved into the body, and that strong sensation in the back of the head. Whoa, we followed that, and then it opened up this whole lifetime, probably something happening with impact and injury with that back of the head. Powerful woman there in another lifetime. You have an alpha mind lined up, having done practical energy work and in my visual coach program, so handy. So we took advantage of that and brought the powerful woman come home in there. Understandably, isn't it interesting? She had some stuff about invisibility. Here we just did a polarity square on visible and invisible, right? So this is the roots for you. It's not unusual with the powerful women who had some problems with visibility in the past. And so she's working to build the spiritual body. And that is something that you're wanting in the now too. So what a wonderful ally that both of you get the spiritual body. Home inside the heart, the architectural structure of the spiritual body, the calm, a calm place every day. And then over on this side, on this far right, is as she comes into that heart sanctuary, it's allowed, it's safe, it's uncorrupted, a growing sense of power, flowing spiritual power, a safe container, open heart, welcome back home. Then the little orphan back here, because we kind of said hello to her, and then this opened up. She's like, hey, I'm still here. So she needed to be integrated in too, right? Taken from her time into the alpha mind, into the heart sanctuary. You're safe, it's okay, I'm adult now, right? And then she was like, wait a second, I don't really trust men. So there is a father aspect in your alpha mind. So he came through. I see you, you matter, I love you, I'm caring. So she's going to start to get a different model of masculine, and this is going to be an ongoing relationship. And so she got okay enough to come in, and they'll continue. And the bird woman showed up in this soft nest down here. And so that's the cocoony place. There's lots of allies for that particular orphan. And then the mind was like, wait a second, everybody else is getting in on this good stuff. So I'm like, let's keep going. 2 orphans, let's go liberate the mind. Why not? And so the mind wanting to get in on the spiritual, right? So the mind is a spiritual purpose for the mind. Yes, please. Growing up and expanding out. I'm allowed to have soul and spirit, to be seen as a soulful and spiritual woman, right? And the crown, the mind likes the crown, and it pointed out to us, rightfully so, that, hey, this connects us to our ancestors, right? And to your higher selves. So again, that crown, that connection to that spiritual place, to that field, that greater field, where you are connected to your ancestors. And they have great resources to assist you, particularly as we go through 2021 and you go through this integration of your spiritual. You're going to have ancestors. We all have good, bad, and ugly in the ancestry, but you've got ones that can guide you and support you with this spiritual integration that you're in the midst of. So not only is it past lives, but it's this body and incarnation's ancestry. So wonderful, wonderful resources. So wow, 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 wow. That was awesome.
My God. Thank you so much.
Yes.
What a miracle. What a
My
birthday,
sincere-
what a birthday gift.
present. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. Now, Kristen dropped off, so saying her well wishes, etc. And time-wise, Lisa, anything you want to say? Thank you for continuing to hold space and be present. And I'm going to see some parallel processing happening. You don't have to, but it just seems a logical thing to pass the mic. Anything you want to say to conclude out too?
Yeah, it was amazing to witness both, Jill, your fluency with your own alpha mind and your sensitivity to the presence of the presences that entered. Also just the skillfulness. Like there were times when hate showed up, it was just such a relief to have that named and to have that so welcomed by Christine. I did a lot of parallel processing. And it was really helpful. And it's also my birthday in a day, so it was just like a double birthday gift.
No kidding. Isn't that amazing? Wow.
Yeah. And
nice.
I just want to say to Jill, welcome back to life, to all the parts that you just brought back, and to the reunion with those beings like Bird Woman, who gives me chills, and yeah, so many beautiful things. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we never know what's going to happen. So this is what happened today. So thank you for dropping by for Process Pop-Up, and it's my sincere honor to hold space and have myself grown along in the process too. And this is the most delicious work that I get to do. So your birthday gift is good for me too. Both of your birthday gifts. Yeah, thank you for the co-creation. What happens from here is I take a look at my calendar and I figure out when the next one's going to be. And Patricia, my assistant, does her wonder with the her magic with the recording. So you will receive the recording and the maps of what was created today, and along with the note of the date of when the next one will be. And as you know, you're on the list, so you continue to get reminders and stuff. And it's a drop-in, so you come when it works for you. So certainly glad it worked for the both of you and Kristen today. So take good care and happy birthday. Happy birthday to you both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Happy birthday.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, Jill.
Bye.